Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the last finals of the evening here on Steve Sports Stage at Insomnia57. We're here with the CSGO Grand Finals featuring two incredible teams. We have Rasta.Infused, who come from the winner's bracket and will be 1-0 up in a best-of-5, going up against Team Pride, who they defeated 2-0 earlier on in the tournament. But at least one of those maps was by a reasonably close margin, and we're hoping for a close finals here. Now, before we get into the game, we have a little bit of a video. We spoke to both teams earlier to find out what their thoughts were about the tournament, their journeys, and what they can expect heading into the final. Let's go take a look.
We got one map advantage from coming from the upper bracket. That's obviously, morale is obviously good going into that final. Individually, we feel like we're better than anyone here, even though we're only a mix compared to all the teams that are here.
All of us can just step up when it's needed and win a round on its own, pretty much.
Going to the finals, we're feeling confident because we just had a really good match against FMS Sport, so I think we'll win. The aspects of game as Infused, they're basically here as a mix, and we know they pull out some crazy stops, and I think there are no any aspects that we're analyzing or anything, just playing our game.
It'll mean quite a lot to me personally, probably mean quite a lot to the boys as well, to come here as a mix, just individually skilled and beating all the teams here.
To win this event, it will be another step into my career.
It would mean a lot. It was a while ago since I won I-Series. I think it was I-51. So I want to really get that title back.
Rasta.Infused are in imperious form heading into the last best-of-5 of the evening, but can Pride finally step it up a gear and break their momentum? If they can, they'll be going away with, of course, the lion's share of the prize money, but they're going to have to fight through 3 games in a row to try and take that from them. Of course, Rasta.Infused only have to win 2. Now, the players are about finished with their warm-up. We're going to be heading into game number 1 very shortly, so I will be throwing it over to our casters. For the last time this evening, ladies and gents, we have Jackie and Saber.
Cheers a lot, and we are going to be jumping into the action very shortly. But as you said, it's been a jam-packed day. And, I mean, what an exciting result. We actually did see Pride being able to knock out FM, the second-place seed. Obviously, Pride were that top seed after they made their way through the online qualifiers to be able to bag that. Looking really strong online. They finally turned up to the event. Previous on in the tournament, we saw Rasta just going absolutely massive, crushing their way through them in a very dominating affair on Dust 2 and Mirage. I mean, you sort of had a few words about that yourself because it was a very one-sided result.
Yeah, I casted the winner bracket final actually, and it was a 16-9 on Dust 2, 16-13 on Mirage, so a little bit closer in the second map. The Rasta.Infused team were looking absolutely dominant. As Neil said already in that pre-game video, they are here as a mixed team, but it's a mixed team with a hell of a lot of skill, Jackie, and that cannot be underestimated in this grand final. A lot of stage experience between these players as well. Surreal actually coming into this has actually won the previous 2 UK events. He's going for a hat-trick of consecutive wins. So you can see Mole here, one of the standout players for Infused so far, absolutely without any doubt at all.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, he's the in-game leader for that side right now as well. You know, taking the helm for the mix. And as you said, this is going to be Surreal's 3rd time in a row on stage at the Premier event. He did pick up I-56 with the win with CX, and then of course with Barrage at the previous Epic. And now we're here, finally getting into the action with the Rasta.Infused mix, so it should be an interesting one. A vastly different lineup, but as you said, so much firepower behind them. They can go for those just crazy hero plays and have that backup behind them, especially with Robin coming in as a last-minute replacement for Windansky for this event. And he's been doing what he does best, just going absolutely massive time and time again and annihilating the opposition. And you really do just have an abundance of talent on one team. That's going to be their key factor. If they can just really rip their way through, if everyone's firing from all cylinders, they're going to be at their peak and they'll be able to dominate. But this is the scary factor, of course, going into that Pride. Obviously, quite a well-drilled team. They've been working together for a very long time. They've been looking strong online, and now they're here. This land, of course, the only maps they did lose out were to Rasta previously in the tournament. They had a clean tournament run other than that, so it's quite scary. Is Rasta their kryptonite, or will they be able to best them in the second time round?
It's hard to say because it was only one best of 3, of course. Casted off stage. There wasn't the stage pressure. That's obviously an added factor in this situation. I'm not too sure how much stage experience this Polish team do have, obviously coming from the online section of the qualifiers and flying across to the United Kingdom just for this tournament. It gives a little bit of added pressure, I would imagine, the foreign presence in one of these homegrown British tournaments, of course. It has to be said that Cryptics, especially in my eyes, was looking absolutely incredible, in that, especially in the first map in Dust 2. He actually got an ace in the pistol round, followed it up. I think he was on like 10 kills in the first 4 rounds. He got off to a flying start, and he was really hitting his shots earlier on today. Of course, Infused haven't played in quite a few hours, that has to be noted. Meanwhile, on the Pride side, they have actually had to fight their way through a lower bracket game in order to make it to this grand final. So they do have a bit more warmth to their game, it might be said.
Yeah, and that's very true. And that game, of course, was going to be their win over FM Esports. That was fairly, it was quite a one-sided affair on their cash, which was actually FM's pick that was very dominant. And then moving into the second map, which was Mirage, that went down to, I believe, a 16-13 scoreline, which was quite close. And there was, breathing room left in there for FM to mount their comebacks. It's unfortunate for them. They have been left at that third place, but jumping into the action here, Cobb will be in the first map, and it is a weighted best of 5 as well, with Rasta having the 1-1.
Yeah, it should be noted that Rasta.Infused actually played on stage on this very map against CEX, I believe it was the first map in that series. The Rasta.Infused were able to pick that one up. I'm not sure if I've seen Pride yet play on this map, because we only saw them play the winner bracket final and then in the consolidation final against FM on stream. Pretty sure we haven't seen them quite yet on Cobblestone. We'll have to see what they bring to the table here. Will be them starting on the CT side of things. Obviously, in recent times, Cobble has definitely been a T-sided map. Maybe 9-6, 10-5, especially if you can get that pistol round under the belt. You're going to see a lot of action towards the B side of the map in particular. That drop down area is going to be a particular point of contention, as well as that B plateau area.
Yeah, it's very true. That aggression behind you as well, where they can really go for that explosive play. Try and set the pace of the game on that Rasta side. That is going to be the critical factor moving into it. Will they be able to have that behind them, find the confidence early on, and really begin to batter their way through Pride? The defense is going to have to be really quite key into this. Looking like they will be just going for the late round B push. Just holding out right now, biding out for the information. There has been a bit of a gamble coming out from Pride where they go for the stack.
Yeah, it should be noted that throughout this tournament, the Rasta.Infused team have only gone for 5 Kevlar buys. There's absolutely no utility nades to speak of in regards to their pistol rounds. That really, it really indicates the fact that they are indeed a mixed team. They haven't put too much practice in as a 5 coming into this tournament. Just been hitting their shots. They have actually definitely won most of their pistol rounds. I've only seen them drop 1, I believe. And that was to Pride, I think, in the second map of that winner bracket final. But other than that, they've been winning most of their pistol rounds just off the Kevlar, just taking the aim duels and winning them.
Yeah, that's true indeed. And right now, just waiting to go for that burst play. They want to try and find their way down, drop down, and cause as much damage as can be towards the B-bomb site. No one wants to try and make the first mistake, though, but here they go. Everyone is going to flood their way down. The abundance of footsteps will be heard by the enemy. Are they going to be able to land their shot? Sliding their way through connector. Mole will get the opener of the best of 5 as he takes down easy. Exus is going to fall as well, but Reeks utilising that USP on the bomb site, shuts down Mole, gets the quick follow-up over onto Som as well. Cryptics will begin to retaliate, taps down Neeks, and it's just left on Reeks and Camille. And 2 versus 3 retake. Not looking too fantastic. Limited utility, but they do have that all-important kit and bring it back into an equal situation as well as Camille goes massive, taking down Robin. The dynamic duo are able to pick it up. There's Surreal. It's going absolutely huge for his side. 2k on the board, and Rasta will be able to take that first round.
Really interesting tactic being utilised there from the British side. Sending one man through that A-long area, one through the mid, and using that drop-down area not to go towards B-Jackie, but just to go through connector back towards A. Really nice little A-pincer there with the Glocks. Paying dividends for them as they will pick up yet another pistol round in this tournament. See a really SMG-heavy buy here. I would imagine that's going to be, once again, going towards that drop-down area.
That's the thing, the only scope, of course, these pistols at close range, that's where they can be at their most effective and really cause some havoc. Robin. Over by the box by Meister with a backup of Cryptics as well. They want to just try and force their way out onto the site and annihilate the enemy. They're not going to go for that play just yet. Slow stuff coming out before they finally try and get the opener. Som will make the first move, slides his way down. Just going for the peek out. We'll spot out 2 of them. Camille will arrive on the scene. By block. Can they get the opener onto Som and try and get back into this one? The eco. Not looking too fantastic just yet. They do get a tag off, but trying to kick off Som. The flank comes in, but Mole's there backing him up as they spray their way through Reeks. Leaving themselves in a 4 versus 5. Make that a 4 versus 3 as Robin tears his way through Neeks. The trade will eventually come in as well as Camille just goes for that flank play, bursting his way through window to shut down Som. But it's still not a great situation at all. Robin with a nice little angle here as well. Will spot Molly, slides his way in. And an easy little dispatch comes out for him, leaving just Camille in a 1 versus 4.
Yeah, it's a bit worrisome there for the Rasta.Infused side. As you did mention, pistols can be quite scary at close range, particularly when you've upgraded to these CZ75s and these 5.7s with Kevlar in tow as well. Especially close range, just like in the drop down area. So Som dropped down there and took quite a few gun battles there. It's the pistols. He managed to stay alive, and his teammate there to back him up from flanker through that window. Overall, only the one gun dropped, and that was Som's Mac 10. The AK on Surreal has been kept alive. And that will be the second round going in favour of Rasta.Infused. Only losing 2 weapons, 2 SMGs. The Mac 10 is a very cheap SMG, of course, only $1,050 to buy. So they won't be too worried, and they'll actually upgrade to more AKs as we go along here. So a bit more of a range capability here side of Infused. Meanwhile, on the Pride side, we've got that Kevlar in hand this time around. No utility to speak of, just the 2 USPs here. The Neeks and Camille. Free, just donning P250s, so not really too much to speak about here. Should be a pretty easy 3-0.
Sure, but their way in. The shots will be rattled off by Robin. Tom's going to have to try and take the initiative. Finds the other over onto Reeks. Cryptics will keep the pace up as well as he sprays his way for more easy. Just leaving 3 men left standing. Make that 2. The Warp Strike comes in off the back. Cryptics blowing Nexus up the server. Mills going to lose his head. One off the back of Som.
Absolutely no weapons dropped there for Infused, just what they wanted. I believe we've had a disconnect on the server, unfortunately. Or we've just...
Okay,
oh, the server
config
issue, yeah.
It's set up for MR6, actually. It's new meta.
I mean, we have had a bit of a delay into this best of 5, but we decided to just shorten the length of the maps instead of actually reducing the number of games that we play.
There you go. So Rasta only need 1 round to actually win the second map.
It's pretty impressive.
It's neat. Maybe we'll see this in the major.
Maybe. It's a lot more cutthroat, isn't it? Basically, you've got very little room for error.
Definitely is.
This is new. I've actually never seen this before, Jack. I don't really know what to say, to be honest, but get this resolved as soon as possible, of course. Rasta.Infused have come out to a 3-0 lead. It's looking pretty promising for them. Potential fix. I'm not really sure what we can do about this, to be honest. Do we have a match medic we can use? I know we have to change the config though, right? So I don't really know what we can do.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a bit of a struggle to get that fixed, but hopefully we should have that sorted as soon as possible, guys. I mean, obviously, that's going to be a bit of an issue. Like, 3 rounds were already picked up, of course, the pistol and that falling in from the goes over the last side. This sound with the round off that being played out, of course, after the team switch. So
just talking about those 2 anti-ecos, Leicester only losing 2 SMGs in the first one and losing absolutely no men in the second will mean that they do have a bit of a economical advantage going into this first gun round. Of course, the Polish team will actually have to buy up these guns now for the first time. That will leave them with not too much in the bank were they to lose this first gun round that will be coming up shortly, I believe. Or we hope. I mean, is it time? It might be time.
I mean, that's very interesting. So hopefully that is going to be fixed on the way. Obviously, you can see Neil and just confused about what's going on. There's coach for that Rasta side, everyone jumping in. But as we said, Surreal, obviously one of those players that has been on stage 3 times in a row now, looking very dominant in the UK scene, a definite rise in talent, if not already risen to that top of the scene. He's absolutely massive in terms of his capability that he's done. He's been causing havoc already early on into this game. Those pistol rounds really going down to the wire and him being able to have that backing through. But this is the thing. You've got so many impact fraggers that are able to just tear their way through for the Rasta side. They can go big countless times and really just have that factor behind them. And this is going to be the scary thing for Fried, because if they're not expecting a potential play to come out and they go for an over-aggressive play, just a hero play off the back of nothing, just on the whim, and they realise that their teammates will still have left, people that can actually win the round out for them, just because you do have that firepower, that level of individual skill that's there for you. It could actually catch Pride off guard if they're not ready for that. Obviously, going up against mixes as well, being a team that's a lot more structured, if someone's way too organic for you, you usually can't react to actually, know how to shut that down.
Yeah, it should be noted actually on the Pride side in terms of the skill side of things. Camille, in particular, in that consolidation final was going absolutely massive on Mirage. I know you were watching it. Me and Harold and our good friend Sam also hopped in for a bit of a tricast. But yeah, Camille was going absolutely massive with particularly the rifles, the AK. They won 9 rounds in a row in the first half after going 6-0 down to the FM side. And indeed, it was quite a convincing 2-0 in the end in that consolidation final. But as is, Rasta do lead 1-0, and they have come out to a bit of a lead in this cobble map. We're still waiting for the server to be fixed. I'm not sure we'll have to restart or not, because it was a config issue. And I'm not sure if we can match medic something if it's, if you're changing the max round settings. It seems like it would be quite a fundamental change to the server.
Yeah, because obviously the only issue would be there with the cache. They could play out this 3 rounds or just set the cache afterwards, but it's It's just dependent on that, because obviously they did use those MAT 10s, so they're going to have slightly higher cash bonuses. So they're going to have to come to agreement really with both teams to see what they both want to do that is going to make sense, which is it's a hard decision to make there and could possibly delay things further, which is a bit of a shame. Hopefully we want to try and get that sorted as soon as possible. We're jumping back in with the action. It is a little bit of a shame.
It should be noted that we do actually have the ability to actually get instant replays on stage at the moment. Obviously we have the match highlights at the end of each map, you know, of all the best plays that were made. So maybe that could be used in this situation here. Just have a look at the money. Yeah, exactly. So then we can actually set the economy to where it should be.
The only issue with it is, as far as I know, with doing that, you will have to you have to do it in Archon. You can just set the max money for a player, but everyone would have to join individually and set it sort of seaside start money, which is it's hassle and would cause a lot of delays. But we will be going to a short break, guys, till we come back in with the action. We're just going to get everything sorted out, and then hopefully we should be back in with the exciting grand final here, the final conclusion of Insomnia 57.
So Jackie, what have we had so
We've
far?
had a short back, an MR3 Sabre. New meta. It's big.
It's big. It's just absolutely massive, isn't it?
Pretty
really?
sound, actually.
So hopefully we've resolved the server issues here. We have been thrown back into the deep end here. And I do believe that we should be getting underway fairly soon, or hopefully that is the case.
Yeah, it should be pretty good jumping back into the action. Obviously, as far as we know, they should be starting off with that 3 rounds. They were actually able to first pickup. Yeah, and we are straight away into one round. Cryptix trying to find his way in towards that B-bomb site. The Surreal will be the one to get the opener after Exodus shuts him down, leaving them in a 4 versus 4. Surreal gets the follow-up as well. Headshot coming out more easy, but Reese has had enough of this. Tries to end the reign of terror as he takes down Robin, but he's going to be traded out. And it's not looking too fantastic now. Neeks left in a 1v3 situation. That bomb site completely taken over, overrun by Rasta. They have the utility to try and drain him out as well to buy themselves more time as they need to, but he's just going to be backing off, wants to hold on to that M4. No reason to throw it away at all, so they will be forced into the eco into the following round. He'd rather just hold on to that weapon and try and play around him into the next one.
Yeah, of course, it should be worth noting that the CT side will be struggling to buy in this next round. And just on a general point in regards to what we can expect to see on Cobble, and particularly not only this first half, but also into the second half from when Pride do switch sides. There will be a lot of focus towards this B-bomb site. It is a more open bomb site. It's the easier one to gain access to. It's the easier one to win your aim duels in. It's the easier one to smoke out as well. We've seen, particularly on the FM side, we saw a lot of smoke-based executes. Now we won't be seeing that from Rasta.Infused. They're much more of a mixed side. They do favour just winning the aim duels before utilising their smoke grenades, their flashbangs, and all these kind of things. They do like to get those opening picks first and foremost. But maybe on the Pride side in the second half, we'll maybe see some cool smoke-based executes towards that B-bomb site, but that will be where we see most of the action. But as I mentioned, it's just going to be back to the upgraded pistols here for Pride, and it's really not been that good of a start here for them, Jackie. With being 1-0 down in this best-of-5 series, it's absolutely imperative that they find some kind of answer or will face themselves at a 2-0 deficit very quickly.
Moving into this as well, once again, not a lot of money to play with on that Pride side. They do have the 1 and 4 on net, so they're going to try and play the round. Him just being the main man. It's going to be a bit of a struggle. Looks like they want to try and go for the boost up towards Olaf Meister as well. Coming in from Robin. Testing the waters a little bit, wants to try and find his way and doesn't want to try and get too close towards those pistols. And unfortunately for him, he's going to get absolutely railed by Exodus there. Lands the 1 dig. Crisp little play, leaving them in not a fantastic position. They should still be able to trade this out. Of course, they do have that range capability with the superior arsenal over on that Rasta side. But they're scared right now. Don't want to run in headstrong and potentially throw this round away. Camille has a nice angle as well to cause havoc as they slip their way in.
Oh wow, another crisp shot here from the pistols. It's going to leave the Polish team in a 5v3 advantage here. You still have plenty of utility to work with to push them out. Some will find the first of the trade frags here, and the second. Really crisp shot there onto Exodus at the statue area, and even things out again. So he also finds one somewhere else before being traded out by Reels. Some also finding one. In a 2v1 situation here. Still a few smokes to use as well. As I mentioned, they like to take all the gunfights before they deploy these smoke grenades. It will be Neeks for this M4 that he saved from the previous round in the 1v2 situation. We'll find the first. Bomb plant's been denied as well, and the second he's going to clutch for his team. And what was, you know, a very strange situation whereby the Pride team actually found 2 entry picks for the pistols. He's just kind of wandering the way into their crosshairs there. It does seem like they finally picked up their first round in this cobblestone map, Jackie.
Amazing comeback there off the back of those pistol picks towards the B-bomb site as well. They were looking absolutely drilled as Rasta just essentially peeked 1 by 1 and just got fertilized into the front of that. They will try and slip their way back in once again. Camille's there. Hold them back, ward them off, and tell them that they're not allowed in. Camille will come out there off the back of the boost, and Robin is able to spray him down. That's going to be cheeky stuff in the play already. 1 minute 20 seconds left on the clock. They go for the commit now. Robin slides his way out, trying to find these openers. Exodus will be able to take down Cryptix. The Robin's on the site, should actually be able to get a pick on the board here. Unless more easy reposition fast enough. Heads over towards Chicken Coop. If he goes for the peek, it's going to be up to Surreal to actually shut him down. Robin still causing damage as he just slips his way around. Before he's eventually picked off over by Exodus. It's a 2 versus 2 now. Surreal is waiting for the peek to come out. Yeah, that needs that AWP out.
Yeah, this has been the style utilised by Rasta.Infused throughout this tournament. It's been very much a bar brawl kind of style. They just take all the gunfights really without utilising their smoke grenades and their flashbangs to great an effect. But of course their raw aim and skill has been what's carried them through so far to this grand final. It would be interesting to see if a team can actually start to shut them down, because of course they came through the winners bracket, so they haven't really faced much of a challenge. Of course they did drop a map to FM Esports in the winner bracket semi-final. Other than that, it's been pretty smooth sailing for the Rasta.Infused team so far in this tournament. Just their raw aim and firepower just carrying them through, and that's an example of just that. More of a crisp headshot there onto Neeks, who was rotating back towards that A-bomb site. It's the Rasta.Infused team in a 2v1 favourable situation, and the Pride team really at risk of having their economy reset here.
Yeah, they are Indeed, Exus tiptoes his way out to the bomb site though, trying to get the drop onto Mole. Will he be able to get this opening? He really needs to try and land that first frag, then he might have potential with Surreal, but Surreal lying in wait, strikes him down and annihilates him, trying to break the economy and pick up another round for Rasta.
Yeah, as you can tell with the economy here of the CT side, 2 players below the $2,000 mark. One of them at the very $2,000 mark itself, one at 2.1. Highest is Ramil, but he's only at 2.6 himself. Means that there's going to be 3 USBs on the side of Pride. 2 upgraded pistols, 1 with Kevlar, but other than that, really not much to speak of. Absolutely no utility nades to speak of here, so this should be easy going here for Infused. We said that already, though, about one of these eco rounds from the Polish team, and they managed to win these gunfights, but without any Kevlar to speak of and only P250s at 9, you really can't see them doing so much here.
Cryptics though, he's going to be able to blow Exus out of the server. As you said, haven't really invested too much into the round, so it's not going to be too good for them. Might be able to cause a little bit of damage though. They did fairly effective last time around, playing off the back of these close angles, and Camille and Co have a good little setup, but Robin slides his way over the top of his head, and actually was able to pick up a 3K. Fantastic stuff on the head there as he goes on for the 3K. Gets the hat-trick as he just annihilates Neeks, leaving more easy as the last man standing in a 1v5. Shouldn't be able to do anything here. Angle comes out from Surreal, aware of him. He actually does land the tag over. Both of them knocked down very low. He's just panicking right now. Doesn't want to try and go down without causing a little bit of damage to that T-side economy. If you can get the AWP off Surreal, try and force out a rebuy potentially if they can't recover the weapon, would be the best scenario. Yeah,
Morel's here just creeping his way around T-spawn here. Just trying to see what he can do, but he should be somewhat aware of his situation, and indeed Robin to cut him off here and should be able to find the frag. Miles just with 15 HP, absolutely no Kevlar to speak of. As soon as Robin spots him, it will be. Does find the dink onto Robin, just into just 10 hit points, but won't be enough to kill him. And indeed, retrieving the AK would have been an absolute challenge to say the least. And as I mentioned, the CT economy reset means that it's going to be a double eco here. Pride team on slightly more upgraded pistols this time around. We do see 2 Desert Eagles. We see a high explosive grenade with one of those. We see 2 sets of Kevlar, one with another Deagle, and a P250 on Neeks. But once again, it's going to be a real struggle for them in this round without any Kevlar to speak of other than those 2 players.
Just going out towards that bomb site though. Once again, Robin, sick opener, tries to land the spray. The second is able to land it. Hat-trick. He's just repeating history right now. Robin in the entry now. So Robin goes towards that B-bomb site. Reese comes in with a CZ spray onto some. He'll be able to get the drop down control, but forced out of position. To the fire, zoning him out. His teammate's going to hit the ground, and he's most likely going to follow the same suit off the back of Robin, dispatching him with a snap little headshot. There's the 7th round picked up by Rasta, looking very, very crisp right now. The double up setup will be coming out from Bride though.
Yeah, it's certainly fair to say that Robin's gotten off to an absolutely flying start in this grand final. He found himself on 13 frags. Of course, most of those, I think in the anti-eco roads has to be said, but he's really hitting some crisp headshots with that AK. And that's one of the more aggressive entry fraggers on this mixed team side. One that they've brought over from Sweden as well has to be mentioned. He is a foreign talent, so to speak. Would be a real asset to the Rasta.Infused team if he could keep up this kind of form into the latter part of this first half.
That's the thing, he's doing damage for his side. So you've got so much potential behind all of them to really step up and take that role. And there he is once again, keeping it up, the firepower on such beautiful display right now. He's just exploding forward. The bomb site nearly gets the follow-up frag, but unfortunately will be dispatched by Exus. Nice use of the AWP there, will reposition as well, over by Fountain. Wait for that push to come out, but nice stuff from Crypt. He's going to land the headshot, tries to go in for more. Meanwhile, it all has been the A-bomb site is under onslaught. Som will catch more easily off guard as he tried to go into that elevated position. Cryptics will land the headshot onto Next as well, causing havoc on the B-bomb site, trying to just hold Reeks there for as long as possible. He's going to work out. This has been the A-take now. Of course, the bomb would have been spotted on the pass, but only 15 HP. And struggle to get that frag onto Cryptics. Nearly did find it, but unfortunately for him, his head can be splattered all over the B-bomb site and then forced back into the eco. The economy has just been in dire states throughout the entire game so far for Pride.
Yeah, it has to be said that despite the losing bonus becoming more and more of a factor here for the Polish team, they're really not able to get much going in these buy rounds, especially when they pick up these AWPs and a lot of utility. As in Fuse case, a very expensive buy, it has to be mentioned, these gun rounds. So even if they lose these gun rounds without picking up many kills to speak of at all, it's really going to pose problems in terms of stringing together multiple buys, and you can really see the losing together here for Rasta.Infused.
Yeah, Reeks trying to play around the smoke towards that B-bomb site, really couldn't find anything, and this is just absolutely insane. They barraged their way through. They haven't quite realised the position of Neeks there, just until the very end. Down, but more easy, comes in with a flank. It's a real happy angle on lockdown, but he couldn't quite land the shot, but it doesn't matter as Cryptic trying to follow up and will recover that weapon. Dropped in. It's looking quite standard right now. Even on the ecos mode, we're not really seeing too much organic play coming out from Pride. They're just going for that same ideology and not really spicing it up, especially towards the bomb site. We would have seen the actual boost coming out to try and get someone towards drinks, but especially as well. Let's go back to seeing them trying to get that boost up towards Olofmeister. It's very standard. The close angles they're playing as well. They've been sniffed out now by Rasta. They're checking them and they'll be able to dispatch them just off the back of the pre-fires they've been going.
Yeah, they've just been playing the same angles over and over again, it has to be said. It's a very cagey style of Counter-Strike, and finally we're going to see something different. Reese has been boosted up, and he's jumped himself up into this B-Potter area, but what's being anticipated here on the Rasta.Infused lineup, he has been mollied out of that position. He's down to just 24 points of health here. Meanwhile, it's going to be once again this B bomb site area that's going to be the choice of destination for the bomb almost. So another Molotov might try and push out potential player from behind that box. Not quite doing so just yet, but Exodus will be the man to make himself into just that position. Cryptix wants to deploy that Molotov, he would deal even further damage to the CTs before even any gunfights have taken place.
That's true indeed. Looking fairly healthy right now into this round. As you said, they've caused a fair bit of damage over onto Reeds. He's been forced to reposition. Exodus did take his place. The Molotov is going to force him to rotate over. Trying to just go over these cheeky little faces, but really won't get anything through it. Off the back of the pop flash, could actually find the opener if he plays his cards right, but unfortunately for him, he isn't going to be able to do this yet. The Resmoke will have the frag, but not quite the frag onto Robin. And the bomb has actually rotated over now. There is only one man on that A bomb site. That is going to be more easy. And it's really going to be all on his face towards side. He has to go huge into this and actually back on the ball, but caught from the sideline. Som immediately dispatching him. And this is fantastic now. Prime time position for Rasta to pick up their 10th round easily. Camille just banging towards Gamba. What's it over that? Sorry, out of Hobbit. He'll be able to cause some damage. Teammates will arrive on the scene, and it's looking fairly healthy right now. They're going to be able to find one and two. Nearly get the third onto Surreal, but unfortunately for him, the AWP was too strong. Picks him off, thinking back into a 3 versus 3 retake. They have very limited utility, but they do have 2 kits to play with. Robin's going to land the headshot, snapping the neck of Exodus, though. It's just next. Reese coming in, just trying to ward them off for as long as possible, giving away their positions, but just trying to force them out. Really anxious right now, checking all of these angles. Totally exuberant peak, but it's going to pay off as Robin lands the spray with the AK-47. Reese left on him right now. No stake in the round at all. We'll just try and get the drop on the potential tees that are going to have these aggressive plays. Obviously, they have an abundance of money to play with, so they can try and go for this force Pride to get those 5 rebuys out into the following round.
I mean, the convincing nature in the manner of which they've been taking these rounds, so many in a row now, it's really losing count. It really means that their economy is almost up to the maximum that you can hold in a team. And indeed, you actually see 16k on multiple players. They're absolute madness. They have enough money to get them through this half quite easily now. And the story on the CT side is they're still struggling to get full buys out there, struggling to get out down AWPs, because AWPs might be the answer to the fact that they're losing these gun duels here, and that's all it's coming down to. We're not seeing something clever pop flashes, we're not seeing clever smokes, we're just seeing aim duels being taken again and again and again by the Rasta.Infused lineup, and they're winning all of them.
It's been absolutely insane. Camille, once again, the depth and the fusion sanity as he just tries to play off the back of this close angle, and his teammates will be able to support him as well. And Exodus actually finds the opener, landing the headshot onto Cryptix, and goes for the aggressive play as well. Camille, who's going to be able to land that spam onto Robin, lands himself an AK-47, but he couldn't quite land the spray over towards Mole. He's going to fire back and tap him down, removing his head. But they're still going to need to get another frag on the wall to bring us back into an equal situation. Som, that force drop down, he's going to be a massive nuisance, a thorn in the side of Pride if they're not ready for that. And overcommit towards this Olof push that's coming out. Next has the angle on lockdown with his Famas, but will be able to land the spray when they go for the push through.
So much utility still in the hands of the Rasta.Infused lineup, and absolutely none to speak of here on the CT side, but despite that, Neeks will find the kill with the Famas. So he will trade it though with his AWP. It's been absolutely a menace for this gun so far in this tournament, and Som will finally make his way through drop down with the flank. Not quite finding the teammate, will eventually do it. We'll leave Morels in a 1v1 situation after finding that eventual trade frag. Surreal still with a Molotov and smoke in hand though. We'll retrieve the bomb and still got a little bit of time to play with here.
Yeah, bides his time, just tiptoeing around, wants to try and plant that seed of doubt in the mind of Pride, making him think that he has gone for the rotate towards the A-bomb site, but he will be gambling. Finds his way back in. More easy, does have the angle. If he goes for the peek here, so he takes one shot, but somehow Surreal, slightly too fast, snaps in and just absolutely annihilates him. Fantastic play from the man there. We said he was going to be a key factor to watch, and once again he's proven that. Just annihilating everyone that comes in front of him.
Yeah, and unreal stuff really. Pride nearly coming to so close to winning their second round, and once again it was off the back of pistol kills, right? Deagle shots galore there to open things up for them. And those 2 entry frags with the pistols once again. This is the manner in which they won their first round and only round so far of this half. As I mentioned here, it might be the double AWP that might be the answer. in terms of winning these gunfights. That is indeed what they've gone for on Neek's Nexus, respectively.
Under onslaught this time around. Try and plant that seed of doubt, force the rotate, and then capitalise on the open A bomb site. We will see more easy there. He's tried to defend it, but he's not really had a fantastic job. He's really been just torn to shreds every time. Will be caught off guard, but somehow still gets the opener on towards Som. Unfortunately hitting the ground. Mole will trade it out as he lands the headshot onto More Easy, brings it back into a slightly better situation. But they're still going to have to do work to bring us back into an advantageous play. Surreal towards mid, up in hand, wants to try and get the peak off. But will be able to land it. Unfortunately, this is getting worse and worse by the second. Robin gets taken down by Reese. Surreal actually gives away his position as well.
2v4 situation here for the Rasta.Infused lineup. Not looking too rosy in this situation, but they still have plenty of utility in hand. And once again, the CT is just real lack of economy means that they really don't have any utility needs to flush out these remaining terrorists. Still plenty of time left on the clock. And if Surreal was to find this first kill here, they'll do so. If they can get the bomb down on the A bomb site, it still might be a very tricky retake without any flashbangs, molotovs, or nades to work with.
Indeed. They only have one kit as well, and that's going to be over on Reese. Mole wants to try and take them down, and they'll be able to get that opener. An immediate headshot straight out into excess. Crazy stuff. He's actually been picked up, and Surreal bounces into action as well as he just annihilates his way through Reese. And it's all on next. AWP in hand. An awkward weapon to have in this 1 versus 2 retake. So many angles to actually deal with here. Panicking, anxious about where the peak's going to come from. Surreal did have the drop on him, but somehow didn't land the shot. Neeks is going to be able to capitalise as he bounces back into action. Nearly actually found the frag onto Mole as he went for the jump play to get that extra information. Bounces away now. Could go down, but he lands the shot onto Mole, and the defuse is going to come in.
It's taken an incredible individual play to bail Pride out there. Massive 1v2 coming out from the AWP of Neeks there. And it was ultimately the AWPs that prevailed there for the CT side. They picked up their first gun round, I think it's fair to say, because it was a force buy that got them their first round of the half. They're still finding themselves in quite a desperate situation. And obviously, it has to be mentioned, no longer have that losing bonus to work with. So should they lose this round, they're already struggling to get the buyout on Morels here, the FAMAS in hand. If they were to lose this round, it would really leave them in a poor situation going into the final round of the half.
It's true indeed. It's really not where they want to be right now. More Easy, he has to be on point this time around. He struggled a little bit, but he's been looking like he's been slowly picking up the pace, but he's going to have to go massive. A real workload's going to have to put in as the mid-aggression is coming out. They're just going to have this big play to try and sniff it out, trying to work out if they do want to go for it. More Easy is there, the only man on the site. As this B-bomb site's been under barrage so many times, they're worried there is going to be a leak once again.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a far heavier A attack than what we've previously seen so far. Usually we would see a fake thrown towards that B-bomb site. Usually Robin or Mo would try and work a pick over there, or indeed Som. You see Robin still actually over towards that drop-down area, trying to have a pesky CT that might overpeak that situation. It will be a far heavier A take in this situation, Jackie.
Yeah, as they slip their way out to the side, the Molotovs and nades are going to be flooding in towards the back of the bomb site, and Robin does actually get the opener onto the rotating Reeks as he tries to find his way towards A. He's going to strike into action though, shuts down Surreal, but Cryptix finds the trade. Molinzy caught out of position towards as well, tries to do something with his FAMAS, but unfortunately couldn't land the spray onto Cryptix, and he is going to fall. Camille, perfect position though in the back of the bomb site. So much trigger discipline on display here. Gets small, goes for the peak onto Tom as well. Just fantastic. Nearly get the hat trick onto Robin, but unfortunately for him, he's not going to have a face left to work with. He's going to be just a dead body laying on the back of that bomb site. Next arrives on the site, nearly actually lands just a random shot towards Wood. That's going to be towards Cryptix. They're both just hiding right now. No reason to actually go for the peak. They have the bomb down, planting a fantastic position towards the site though. Robin's just going to go for the exuberant face. He's going to get taken down off the back of it. So very low, eventually Robin finds the headshot onto him as well. And it's just absolutely insane individual skill coming out right now from Rasta. Time and time again, these clutch situations, Robin has been really going massive.
It's just left them in such a nightmare situation going into this last round. Absolutely nothing to work with here. Once again, we're going to have to work on to rely upon some miraculous Deagle shots to open up things for them. Real lack of utility even. That's how bad things have gotten for them in terms of their economy. And 12 rounds already on the board here for Rasta.Infused, who really favour them taking this second map and really taking the struggle over the series before it's even really began.
Surreal actually got caught off guard there as well. Bumbling as he was just out towards mid, gets picked off, but Robin and Som do trade it back, bringing it into a good situation before it's eventually brought back to a balance. This is going to favour the team so advantageous Arsenal, and they're looking very drilled into the round in terms of their positioning. Being able to zone off the CTs. Flashbang from Som. Allowed to go for a peek. It's a little bit too early. Molinzy does want the Deagle spam, but unfortunately, he's going to be laying on the floor. Dead and lifeless. Camille takes down Cryptix, but Mole will trade it out left now to 1v1 up against Camille. He went massive for his side before, but not again. No head, no round for Pride. They'll be able to pick that out. with an essentially flawless half coming out right there for Rasta. Absolutely amazing stuff on display.
Just like the final point there in that round, like we haven't seen too much utility being deployed here from Rasta.Infused because they've quite frankly not really needed to. They've just been winning so many gunfights. But what a pop flash there from Mole onto the man at Rock, absolutely blinded him. Just really made that 1v1 quite easy for himself in the end. As you mentioned, it will be a 13-2 half for Rasta.Infused, almost perfect. The only 2 rounds he actually conceded were to pistol force buys, the occasional saved weapon, but once again it's just going to be a drop down Glock train here.
First play, they need to find their way in. It's looking fairly healthy so far. It's actually a 2K on the board. A massive opener, and there's the third and the fourth. Surreal's going to go down. Cryptix most likely will follow suit as the rest of his teammates as well, as he's left all on his lonesome towards that B bomb site. 27 seconds left on the clock. This has been such a fast round going in the way, and they have the lurk as well. If Cryptix isn't going to check his angles, should be caught off guard. Unfortunately, he will check it, but I guess he got the frag. He will get the follow-up as well. Over to Easy. Let's see what he can achieve. Tiptoes round. Doesn't actually quite catch another player towards Hobbit. He's just causing havoc right now, tearing his way for everyone that comes in front of him. Gets a massive tag off onto Reeks as well. Looking like he has potential. He is such a skilled individual player as well. And he definitely is sort of the player you'd want in this situation. And he's pushing up towards the bomb site. Fires up a few pot shots, but couldn't quite land them onto Exodus. And he will eventually go down. Fantastic stuff. They're actually taking down 2 of the men. Nearly getting the third on towards that Pride side. But that is massive Pride. They needed that pistol round for a lifeline to actually stay into the game.
Yeah, really taking a page out of the Rasta.Infused strugbook there. Just, you know, brute forcing your way down, drop down. Just all the gun battles with just pure Kevlar and Glocks in hand. Indeed, it will pay off for them. It's a bit hairy though. Cryptix finding 2 kills in that 1v5 situation and making it a little bit close. A bit too close for comfort, but it's absolutely imperative that the Pride side do pick up these anti-ecos, because if they were to drop one, indeed one of them has already dropped to Robin. If they were to drop this round, it would probably spell lights for this second map.
Would be indeed, and the thing is, getting the opener on the board, being able to best release is amazing. They've also got the tag onto one easy. They're playing these close angles, and they've really got a lot of confidence behind them. Even around, they really don't have too much of a stake in, and that's been the key factor. Pride weren't really ready for that. Robin recovering that P90 as well could be such a detrimental factor if they're not prepared. Mole with a nice little 5-7 shot over onto Exus. Nix is going to go huge for his side. 2K on the board. There's Robin, spams into action with the P90. 2K already secured. He's looking like he's hungry for more. Surreal has a deagle in hand and also a little bit of they don't actually have that kit, and Robin unfortunately going to be able to take that range duel. It's not going to work out too much in his favour. Gets tagged down just 14 HP now. The smoke will go out to allow more Easy and Co. safe passage toward the bomb site, but there's the Molotov on Surreal. That most likely, if lands correctly, should force him off the bomb. He's be able to land it. Camille will get the AK spam shot over onto Robin as well, and it's just Surreal left in a 1 versus 2. Deagle in hand. Both of these players will only take 1 shot to the chest to actually best them, but will he be able to find it? It's going to be so hard for him. Patience on the board as he tiptoes his way around, so very anxious about what the potential weak could be coming out from. He will actually just go for that straight up play, charging his way around, tries to get the angle, but unfortunately for him, immediately snapshot coming out from All Easy, ripping his head clean off. They're able to pick up that second hand ego, but a very shaky one. 3 rebuys coming out for the side.
Yeah, that's really not going to help their economical state. Has to be mentioned there that if Surreal had maybe made closer towards a bomb site in that 2v2 situation, especially when Robin was still alive at B long, could have possibly deployed that Molotov towards the box at the back of B plateau and really done some serious damage, forced him out of position, and the P90 probably could have done so much work, but hindsight is indeed 2020, and it will be almost a full eco here from the Rasta.Infused side.
Reeks wrapping up those shots. Will find one with his flash as well. Nets is going to find one as well. Robin does a little bit of damage, but it's nowhere near going to be enough. And that is such a fast round. If he blinked, he would have missed it. Reeks tanks the final shot onto Surreal. There you have it. All of his anti-ecos now completely out of the way. No more easy rounds for Pride. It's all going to be hard. They really will have to try and stay on their grind from here on out and best Rasta. They've been close rounds as well. Even when the economy hasn't been on that side of Rasta, they've been looking very drilled and very crisp.
One of the advantages they do have going into this round is the all presence of Neeks. Of course, not quite the economy on the CT side to be able to permit Surreal to pick up his own AWP scores. And once again, we're just going to see quick action towards the B bomb site. I didn't mention. That's huge from Robin. A 2K with the M4 and the Molotov from Cryptix will finish the job, and Cryptix will find 2 more of his own. And what a quick round there from Rasta.Infused. If you would have blinked then, you'd have missed it. That's
absolutely crazy. Just amazing stuff coming out right now. Just rapid succession. Rasta just going off on one. Robin just juicy play there with a 2K spread, and the Molotov coming in as well, sending a player off to the Bones ward, and that is fantastic. Luckily for Pride though, they've got a little bit of a lifeline. They will be able to hold on with the following buy coming out. They do have the Deagle Nexus as well, but this is essentially do or die for them. Rasta 1 round away from securing match point, and they're looking like they want to try and take that as soon as possible. The fast Molotovs coming out towards that B bomb site are going to zone out Pride. buying them an awful lot of time. They can't actually go for that aggressive B-side play that it looked like they wanted to try and take there.
Yeah, actually, thanks to their successful anti-ecos, especially that second one against the full eco, they have been able to get out that force fight, as you mentioned, but it's worth noting that one of the CTs here has pushed it along for so much information, and as a result of that information, they've been able to rotate 4 of their players towards the B side of the map here. It's going to be a really scary order for here, especially now as Surreal's found the opening pick.
Yeah, great stuff coming out there from Surreal and Cryptix, just really carrying their way through. Robin in that elevated position by Tree as well will have the high ground and utilize it to shut down Exus. Mornings, he's going to trade it out, trying to bring it back in the favor of the Poles, but it's not looking too healthy at all. There's the snapshot though onto Somp, but unfortunately he will be traded out. He will just reach in a horrendous situation. He's going to hit the ground. He's completely benched there, just having a bit of a sit. They have no money to play with into the final round of the half, which it could very well be right now. Rasta, match point secured. They have 10 match points to play with here before Pride will be able to force them into an overtime. And with no real economy backing, financial backing absolutely horrendous, they had to just go for this fast force. It was the only option they had. They couldn't try and really play it out. They just tried to go for it. And it's not looking healthy at all. Loads of tech lines that have just gone for this first half, which is the only thing they can really achieve. But Surreal is just going to annihilate everyone. That's a 2K. Mole comes in with one of his own. Surreal lands the headshot as well onto Reitz, and it's just Camille in a 1 versus 5 situation. He should have no stake in. Really shouldn't be able to achieve anything here with just this easy. Tries to get the drop on the players towards mid as he repositions coming in through Matrix. Could find an empty 1 frag, but that should essentially be it. Just one. Surreal goes on the aggressive. He's not even going to get that. The headshot comes in, and that's a 16-5 scoreline. A very, very fast first map there over on Cobblestone. Insane stuff. Individual skill was just through the roof for the Rasta side.
Yeah, looking at the scoreboard as well, we just saw massive individual performances, particularly from Robin and Cryptix. I think we saw 27 plus kills from Robin, as well as 10 assists. So actually in the double figures for both kills and assists. That's absolutely madness. Like so much ADR, I guess. His ADR must have been very high in that game. And of course, Cryptix, especially in the start of that second half, for the few rounds we did see on the CT side, he pilked at multiple 3Ks there, just dealing so much damage to the men, to the Polish team as they tried to advance towards that B bomb site, much in the same fashion as the Rasta.Infused team did in the first half, but nowhere near to the same level of success.
Yeah, it's true, and it was just absolutely insane. Robin, as you said, though, he was going massive for his side. Didn't matter what side he was on, just absolutely insane. His aim was on point, especially he was really the critical factor that gave them so many openers and allowed them to claim that B bomb site. He was causing that leak time and time again, and they had no way of patching it up. They just didn't know what to do. Pride was just absolutely confused when they were going for that B bomb site plays. We saw nothing really coming out for them that was too organic as well. It was so boxed down and just static. It was so easy to read for Rasta, and they were just able to rip through it time and time again, pre-fire those angles, take them down off the back of it, just zoning them out and really playing their own game against them. They forced them into a box. They just looked so timid and scared. That's why, you know, we just saw no initiative from them at all towards that B bomb site on their CT half. It was just insane. The fact that we didn't see even a single tree boost coming out and they just played that close angle, essentially 5 rounds in a row, it was just looking odd. We're going to go back and have a little look at some of the highlights throughout this though.
Just getting into things here. This highlight we're going to see here is just this gun round. Fuse did accelerate to this 4-0 lead. Particular place of note here from Surreal. Absolutely, just really crisp AK work, has to be said. I think he picks up a 3K in this round. So Som picking one up with that Mac 10, giving himself a bit of an economic boost as well. And that was the name of the game, right? Just taking these gunfights to be time and time and time again on that Rasta.Infused side. Just winning them all, just finding their heads, just clicking heads. You know, Counter-Strike is such a simple game when you can just out-aim players. You know, point and click kind of thing. You know, it really simplifies the game almost.
And that was the thing, they just had no answer for it. It just seemed like right now, Rasta, everyone was just so on point and just really crisp. Just landing their shots, they were firing from all cylinders and they just annihilated everyone that came in front of them. It didn't matter what they tried to do, they just didn't have that, you know, the sort of firepower behind them. And that's where Rasta just excelled. Just looking so much more on point in terms of their aim alone.
Yeah, that's definitely what we saw. Of course, the first map can go in 16-5 fashion. It's really one-sided stuff. And now Rasta.Infused, of course, in the overall scope of things, I've got a 2-0 lead in this best of 5. They only require one more map out of the remaining 3 to close out this final and take the first place prize. I think it's £2,500, so £100 each for each of the players. That's not too bad for a weekend's work.
Really fantastic as well. And a nice way to actually bring Rasta back into the scene, of course. They've been one for quite a while, of course. Really fantastic stuff for Adam. I'm sure he'll be happy with that if they are actually able to pick up that win for his side. A very long time since we've actually seen a Rasta team come back into the fold. So amazing stuff for the organisation. And then Pride, of course, coming all this way from Poland, really wanting to bring their A game. Of course, they picked up the online qualifiers. They looked very strong there, actually best in the E-Flag in the final. But they ripped their way through FM as well, so they did have quite a hard time through the online qualifiers. That backed them the first seed at the event. They've really, they dominated in terms of their actual games throughout the bracket until they met Infused. That was the only game they struggled on, the only game they've actually dropped a map before the grand final, especially once their actual rematch against FM as well. They were able to go through that. It was a close affair on the second map. But now we're here, and it's just looking like it's all gone out the window. They just don't seem like they have that sort of energy behind them anymore. They're just looking really out of focus, and it's not fantastic.
The real problem that I do foresee is that look at the upper bracket here. See the Pride make their way through, straight through the upper bracket, just straight through the top side there, being the top seed, of course. Impulse and Monumentalis in the upper bracket quarterfinals, rather. We're playing Nerd Rage, who actually dropped down a bit of a surprising exit for some people, only in top 6. Of course, they're facing Infused Rasta in that winner bracket final. Second map is going to be Cash here. So, you know, it's one of these maps that, you know, you can play as a mix. You can just take these aim duels in a really heavy manner. And from what we've seen of Rasta.Infused on this map so far, they've also looked quite dominating in this one. Why did play this bracket final, I believe? Or did they? No, they didn't.
They played it in the lower bracket final versus FM, and it was actually FM's pick, and they were able to pick it up before.
Oh
they
yeah,
played
it was
Mirage.
like 16-6, right? It was quite one-sided.
It was a very one-sided
yeah, that's right.
scoreline, yeah, which is actually quite interesting to see. So that could potentially sort of tell the tale a little bit of how this game is going to go down. But Rasta, of course, as well. I believe we've seen them play Cash a few times. They look quite strong on it.
Yeah, I think so. I think they've looked strong on pretty much every map they've played so far. I'm not sure if this was the map they dropped to FM. I can't quite remember which one it was. It was a 2-1 series in that winner bracket semi-final. You're going into things here. I feel like Rasta.Infused are going to be quite comfortable on whatever side they get. Again, it's one of these maps, almost quite subjective which side you prefer. It really depends on the play style of the team.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, what we've seen as well from Rasta coming out in the past, if they try and get that T side early on, actually just set the pace of the game, that's where they're going to look at their best and their most explosive. They have that level of organic play behind them, and it's been looking fantastic. Especially, we saw it there on Cobblestone, a map that is slightly more T-sided, but they look very crisp.
And it will be, once again, Pride to start off on the T side of things, as we saw on Cobblestone. I'll have to see if Rasta.Infused can really set the pace of the game in such a dominating fashion as we did indeed see in that first map in this grand final. Of course, once again, we're going to be seeing a really heavy Kevlar buy, but a bit of a change up here from the Infused side, Rasta.Infused side of things here. Yeah. We're going to see them buy utility names for the first time this tournament, it seems like, Jackie.
Yeah, and it seems like the play they actually want to go for, I thought would actually be a bit of a door burst, but it's slowed down a little bit now, just going for this defensive play. Of course, they've got those smokes, so if they do want to go for that late play, out of A main, to smoke off short, let the flashbangs roll over, one player come out through door, but they're just holding this default, worried that Pride will actually go for this aggressive, headstrong play, and they have done. They've crept up, they've got an awful lot of control from the B-bomb site, they're aware that this is going to be an A play coming out. Exus, he's going to be a key man into this as well, does give away a position off the back of that first shot that he couldn't quite land, and Robin gets into a nice position to try and dispatch everyone by truck, lands one, but unfortunately couldn't quite follow up. Reeks is going to dispatch him. And they're close by, the combat is coming out. Som is going to be doing damage, throwing punches all over the place as he takes down Exus. But unfortunately, he will fall himself back into a 3 versus 3. Reeks essentially a dead man though, and he's the one with the kit. He needs to go huge into this. Find his way onto the bomb site. We'll try and take the initiative, but unfortunately, he's not looking too healthy. He's going to fall to Cryptics, and so does Reeks. And that's going to be the first round picked up very, very quickly there for Rasta, looking so strong.
Looked absolutely dominant throughout their pistol rounds. Whenever we have seen them on stream so far in this series tournament, that has not changed so far in this map. They took a 1-0 lead, and you know, very much picking up where they left off. And in terms of the buy that we're seeing in the second round, it's going to be once again the very heavy SMG buy, particular focus on the Mac 10s, cheapest of the SMGs, of course, but still give you that quite large cash bonus when you dispatch a new player.
Thing is though, this is actually quite a scary buy, because going into that sort of these close angles being played, we saw how effective Pride have been previously with pistols as well. There's a lot of potential for them to actually cause a mass amount of chaos and actually really sort of bring this round potentially their favour if they actually get the openers on the board. Obviously 4 SMGs in play is quite scary. They've not even gone for the UMPs there as well, so they don't have that range capability. They're going to be at their most effective in that close quarter combat. That's where the pistols are going to be useful as well. Moizine, a fantastic close angle here as well. If he can get the opener, he's going to shut down Som. Robin will take the position of those, shut down the mill. They'll try and find it, and Moizine will actually take one before he's traded out, and now it's looking quite healthy. The retake is going to have to unfold. No utility to play with, and no kit.
We saw plenty of utility there deployed on the Rasta.Infused side in order to front the safe passages to the safe bomb site. Huge shot there from Exus with the Deagle onto Mole at forklift. A bit of a riot to this round, the second one as well. Surreal will finally trade a kill. Leaves it in a 2-on-2 situation here, Jackie. And a third 1D. That's insane. Absolutely massive. And it's a retake from Pride here in the second round. Huge individual skill on display there from Exus. A huge triple. Will retrieve himself an AK as well to boot. What a massive second round coming out here from the Polish team in response to, you know, what was a dominating first map win there from Rasta.
See, we spoke about individual skill, but that is just vastly crazy stuff coming out from Exus. They're just going massive with his deagle. I mean, if he keeps that up throughout the gate, God help him.
Infused onto the pistols here. Single AK in the hands of, I'm not sure who that quite was. We've got the scoreboard up here, but it is actually Robin who has picked up the AK. And there's the entry fragger of the team who can really make something happen here. And indeed, he's going to be boosted up into this mid area. Very rapid succession. His angles, making sure no one's playing too close to the smoke. Will spot the man retreating into Z. A large amount of mid control already in the hands of the Rasta.Infused team here. You mentioned the cagey kind of playstyle coming out on the CT side of things from the Polish team, but once again, really falling back into their shell, really playing deep into these bomb sites, Jackie, and that could be their undoing.
It's sort of the story behind them. They just looked very scared and didn't want to try and go for those aggressive faces, didn't want to try and try their luck, and they were just being shut down off the back of it. So right now, this push coming out, obviously Robin, he's got the range capability with that rifle. He's going to be towards mid as well, trying to if he can do. Surreal, he's taken the deagle this time around. Will actually land the tag, but couldn't quite claim the frag just yet. So he's going to be the late round look towards the A bomb site. If he plays his cards right, could be a key factor into this as well to actually try and get that flank off and rip his way through. Robin will find the opening with the AK-47. Rattles off shots from that Kalashnikov onto Camille. Now it's left with 4 men left standing towards Pride. Everyone heavy focus towards that B bomb site. Want to try and rotate those. They believe it all has just been a bit of a ruse. Exus peeks out towards Zed and claims the frag over onto Robin and brings it back into an equal situation. Cryptix has a nice little late round lurk as well here. Just listening out for the audio cues. A bit of power of footsteps will peak a little bit too early. Are into it, taps away somehow, finds the headshot, and Mole gets one as well, utilise that Tech 9 perfectly, leaving Reeks and Nex in a fantastic position to actually retake this, and it's going to be quite limited. They do have that AK-47 and the FAMAS, but no utility and no kit.
I think they save their weapons here if they've got their wise heads on them right now. Indeed, they are actually just going to do just that, I believe. They're going for some exit frads towards A main, but really not got much of a chance in this round with, as you mentioned, absolutely no utility nades to work with, and particularly the fact that they don't have a defuse kit as well, so absolutely no. Another round where Rasta.Infused have absolutely no rights, absolutely no stake into it, and just, you know, off the back of that AK that Robin did have, you have seen him in that aggressive entry role, and we saw such a massive first map from him, and once again, being the impact player for his team, giving them complete mid control. It was off the back of that they managed to identify the lack of a CT base on the A bomb site. Once again, the B stack for Pride, it has to be said, was their undoing. We saw that in the pistol round as well. They played 3 players towards that B bomb site, took a lot of control, but you know, you make compromises in Counter-Strike. If you take control, like such a heavy control of one bomb site, it can leave the other one quite exposed.
Yeah, the gamble coming out there didn't really pay off for them too well. Now the weapons they've actually got are looking fairly healthy, very limited utility, but their buy is actually quite good. So they might actually be able to cause a little bit of damage into this. Over on Som and Surreal, they've got those FAMASes. Mole with the Tech 9, 2 AKs there, one with Cryptix and one for Robin, respectively. They have gone for this counter boost. It could cause a little bit of havoc if Exus has his time in. All right, we'll just be holding right now, listening out for that audio before he tries to go for his strike behind. Robin throws those flashes out towards mid to try and sell the idea of a mid push. There is going to be a B play coming out. Reeks does his brute bullet impression. Finds his way through, then will pop back, spams the headshot onto Robin. He gets the follow-up, and now's actually going to be able to take it as well onto Mole. 6 stuff on display right now. Cryptix wants to try and bring it back into a situation that favours the team, but it's not looking too healthy, and there's the flank coming in. Exus from behind sprays down that M4S. Will eventually find the frag onto Cryptix and brings it back into an equal situation. It's just so back and forth right now. 4 rounds into the game, and it's been wild, 2 apiece.
Yeah, a real passive setup there from Rasta.Infused before going into those crisscross smokes to try and sell the idea of taking mid control. Problem is for them, Pride had already asserted quite an authoritative mid control that brought, you know, they'd stacked 3 players towards that area, 2 in the vents. One playing on that counter boost position really means that they didn't fall for that such fake. And as a result, they just, you know, they read Infused like a book. They knew they were going towards me. It's a pass with the footsteps, able to deal with them adequately. The B site and the vent position, and once again we will see the opening frag going in the way of the Polish team.
Yeah, let's see what they're going to be able to achieve here if they can actually mount this retake that is going to be coming out very shortly as they try and actually secure that A bomb site. They've got the utility to play with over on that Rasta side to zone them out, but they need to find their frag onto more easy. Unfortunately for them as well, Surreal will be taken down. Actually landed that frag, and there's the follow-up as well from Exus. A cheeky position to find that frag onto Som, or Izzy will bounce into action. He shuts down Cryptix as well, leaving just Mole in a horrendous position. Get the drop onto Mole Izzy. Can't check the angle, nearly found the follow-up frag onto Exus, but unfortunately for him, he will hit the ground, bested by Exus. And they begin to take the lead. 3 rounds on the board now. Rasta with no money in the bank as well, not looking too healthy.
has to be said that the Rasta.Infused style is very much hit and miss at points. I mean, when you're taking so many heavy gunfights and you don't have any smoke-based executes to fall back on towards, if you're not hitting your shots and you're just losing all your gunfights, it can really leave you in a real state of economic bother. If you lose all your gunfights, if the CTs get some clean rounds as they have them now, and 40 just onto these Glocks. Rasta.Infused team without any bomb plants to really speak of in the past couple of rounds. They've been left in a state of economic peril. Glock train is going to be real onto the A-bomb side without any armor, any Kevlar, anything to work with. Somehow do find the opening pick onto the AWP, but that should be pretty much all we find in this round.
So Hellstorm of bullets coming out. Forced next to really have a bit of a panic. Yeah, for Grumble on display, and he couldn't quite land the shot with the up. They have bested him, but that's basically all they're going to achieve. You're right, Som and Mulder on team on left standing towards the front. Does look like Havoc.
Som actually finding the second with the Glock and should be able to pick up this edge. Might be able to do a bit more damage, but quick rotate up short denies that pickup. Be a fairly clean round on the side of Pride, but it is actually worth noting that they didn't manage to retrieve that AWP. So actually a lot more damage done by the Rasta.Infused lineup than should have been allowed, I really feel like. We'll be able to pick up an AWP in the hands of Neeks anyway, regardless rather. And you know, due to the nature of the anti-ecos and indeed the gun rounds just before, we have seen from the Pride team in the 4 rounds that they have picked up, they've been able to build up a little bit of a bank for themselves to the point where they can afford to just drop an ult for a teammate. Once again, we're going to see this counter boost play in as part of their mid presence.
Is it going to work? They're being able to find their way through the opposition. They're in some prime time position. Very massive here. There it is. Camille holding another one. Garbage. Really able to get one before he's eventually traded out. Sent off to the Burns ward there by Mole. And swings back 3-2 versus 3. Cryptics. As that nade will bounce it over. Should be able to transfer an awful lot of damage on. He walked behind the tag as well with his AK-47 to pick him off. Completely froze him out of action. Even spawn easy in a 1 versus 3. Does have a fair bit of utility and has the all-important shot as well. Gets the initial drop onto Robin. Brings it down to 6 HP, but can't quite get the frag. Doesn't have that snapshot. Onto Som though. Rips his head clean off. He's only going to take 1 bullet to actually take down Robin. He has that nade as well. That's watching from the sidelines. Robin pops out and takes him down.
And Robin perfectly anticipating the drop from upper there. Knew that his smoke would probably force him out towards that headshot area. Peeks out from the vent room at the optimal timing and will find the head of Morelzi in that 1v2 situation. And as we mentioned, CT Economy not in the best of situations just due to the nature of the fact that they had to buy, they had to rebuy weapons after that Glock Eco. Especially that AWP really means that their players, especially that man that had dropped the AWP, that being Morales, is just left with just the 5.7 in hand. Other than that, we do see a FAMAS. Still, like you see an AWP has to be mentioned on Camille. He has not been the AWPer for them so far in this game, so quite interesting to see that Neeks has actually resorted to put that one down. Actually drop the AWP roll to his teammate.
See the things as well. Cyril on this boost angle wants to try and find the opener. Will eventually do it, but is he aware of the positioning, the close angle that is on display? Robin, some follow suit as well, and it's not looking like this round's going to be going too fantastic right now. Rasta really losing grip on it. It gets even worse as Cryptics and Mole get taken down. It's just on Cyril. He's going to have to go absolutely inhuman into this one to pick it up. Oh, on the tag, so close to getting the frag, but unfortunately for him, Morisi immediately takes him down, and that is crazy. Pride just annihilating their way through Rasta right now. The double up setup coming into play as well. No money on that side of Rasta.
Both teams in quite a state of economic despair here. Really not too much of a bank to speak of on either team. Quite a back and forth game so far, to say the least. And as we saw, not only was it a CT a restricted buy on the CT side in that run, but also on the T side, some only had the Mac 10 to work with, and some of the Tech 9. Ultimate was their undoing, using those close range combat battles to the FAMAS and indeed the 5.7 and Morels as well. So there'll be a heavy presence towards the bomb site in this round, though, to see if they can utilise that utility once the smoke fades, or indeed even beforehand.
They're going to try and take the initiative down for that aggressive push. There is going to be fire there, but they're going to have to just fight their way through it. Cyril, following with that Tech 9, he finds the frag onto next, but unfortunately for him, he will be bodied. Reach snaps into action as well with 2 crisp shots. One of those being a headshot into Mole, but Som not enough for this one to try and bring this back. But the Reign of Terror is looking far too fantastic. He's left the 1v3. He will eventually hit the ground, following the suit of his rest of his teammates. And Pride leading ahead massively.
I already mentioned the facts that this map is not, it's not like Cobble where it is almost objectively T-sided. It's quite subjective, and it seems like Pride have got a bit of a lock of things on their CT side of things. We've seen a bit of a quick pause here, and already an unpause being called. Interesting stuff, but in any case, Pride with a 6-3 lead here, and once again, Rasta.Infused really left in an economic rut. So they're really struggling to get the bomb plants down. I think that's quite a key theme to be noted in this first half so far. haven't really seen a bomb plant in either, like, maybe the past 5 or 6 rounds almost. And really, even though on the T side, the guns are cheaper, you don't have to buy defuse kits, of course. And of course, Molotovs are also cheaper, so utility nades also in total are cheaper as well. You're not getting the bomb plants down, you're not getting that bonus cash. Still struggle to get the buys out. It's quite evident here, without a full losing bonus on that terrorist side.
They've actually opted to go for the doorburst play here. The smoke will go up, unfortunately some gets dispatched before the flashbang can go in, so they're just wandering into this bomb site where everyone is completely fine. Everyone's vision on point. They're able to just pick them off one by one as they push out. That's so unfortunate. Som did get the smoke off to actually zone out the short players, but didn't quite get the flash out before he was taken down, and that entire round fell apart there. The doorburst not really working out. Weren't able to cause any damage to the Pride economy, but now they've finally got weapons flow. Unfortunately for them, Surreal will not be able to dom the AWP, and Utility is not looking too fantastic at all.
Let's double up. Really good to range 3 might feel like in this round. The Rasta.Infused lineup only with 5 AKs and quite limited in terms of their utility as well. So once again for a quite a passive start, with those crisscross smokes potentially, and possibly boosting a man to try and reassert mid control, which is what might have been lacking in these past few rounds, and that might be certainly been identified by their lineup. Once they make their way into mid, Man Invent will shut them down. That is Reeks, and Neeks will follow up with one of his own from an under boost position. Their attempt to retake mid control in one of these rounds has really been foiled before it could even begin.
Indeed, they will try and use the rest of the utility they have. That smoke going out. They're trying to bide their time here. Not going to try and make any snap decisions, any rash judgment. Som wants to try and find a opener, but it's going to be very restricted. Pride showing an awful lot of patience. They're going to go for those information plays, just chilling out right now and holding their close angles. They can dispatch Rasta when they eventually make their decision to go for the push. Their T side not looking too healthy at all right now. That smoke is going to be going in towards main. That will zone them out and buy a bit more time to play with.
Yeah, Mole towards this door position could be quite key here. Neeks is playing on that catwalk area. If he was to pop open that door and make the AK headshot, that could be quite crucial in this round in potentially giving them a route back into it. As is, they've got absolutely no utility left to speak of to get them onto this A bomb site. With a 2-man disadvantage, you really can't see them changing too much.
Next, we'll be able to take down Mole. All easy is there at the back of the site. Will he go towards the Abbott? Unfortunately, Som will get taken down. Cryptics now in a 1 versus 3. That round's going to be huge, but Reeks will land the shot. There you have it. 8 rounds already picked up. Pride are showing no signs of slowing down at all. That loose balance will be starting to rack up for Rasta, but even then they don't have enough money in the bank to go for the buy here.
Once again, it's coming down to what I already mentioned. The lack of bomb plants, Jackie, is really starting to hurt them, and once again they've been forced onto these pistols. It feels like every time they lose a gun round, they're being forced onto the pistols. And once again, this time around we see a triple AWP setup here from the CT side. The confidence really starting to rack up here on this Polish team. And if Rasta.Infused are going to continue to play this style where they're just trying to win gunfights, playing against a confident Polish team with plenty of skill on their own side, particularly we saw that with Camille in the consolidation final, it might be their undoing, and it might be an avenue for the Pride team to get back into this series.
Yeah, that's true indeed. It was looking crazy back then. This triple AWP setup as well is absolutely mind-boggling, especially going up against the ecoing side of Rasta. Let's see if they're going to be able to utilize it efficiently and actually pick everyone off from range and really take that early round lead. 1 minute 10 left on the clock. We'll try and take the opener, but unfortunately he's zoned out. That Molotov landing just on his head, just in time though, so he doesn't actually take any damage from the fire.
It's worth noting that a few couple of deagles in hand here with Som and Cryptics. If they were to hit their shots, they could definitely still open this round up for the Infused team, Rasta.Infused team rather. But a real lack of presence towards anywhere on the map for Rasta.Infused right now. They've actually managed to make, they've actually allowed one man to get into mid and start to make his way up short. Let's see if he can do any damage here for the terrorist team here.
Short player, as you said, Robin. Unfortunately caught off guard from behind, taking that 1-5-7 of Nick. Surreal is going to go big for his side, opening it up with that frag onto Excess, but Nex slams his way back into the action as he best sits with that AWP. 2 men left standing. Trying to get that bomb planted, but his teammate's going to fall. The CZ spam comes in. His head will eventually be popped off the back of Camille's weapon, and that's 9 rounds already picked up for Pride. Still on the warpath, just annihilating everyone. This triple AWP setup as well, just crazy stuff on display from him right now. Just going absolutely mental.
Feels like they really want to beat Rasta.Infused at their own game. Kind of the strap up going out of the window. Triple AWP, name of the game for the Polish team right now. If they were to just win 2 picks straight off the bat, it would completely slow down the Rasta.Infused team in their tracks, and I really feel like that's the aim of their strategy. That's part of this first half. Surreal gets the tag onto Morels though. Cryptics follows up with a grenade. Will that finish him off? Indeed it will. That's a crucial opening pick here for the Rasta.Infused side towards that A bomb site, and that's one of the AWPs downed. Just will retrieve it though, and that really leaves. Okay, he's actually. I was going to say it would be quite awkward to have 3 ups left in a 4v5 situation. I think that would probably be a bit too much, but despite that, one of the ups has been dropped, and that's a significant amount of authority around the map that's been, that's been achieved here for Rasta.Infused. That's really given them a bit of an avenue here to potentially work this A-bomb site rather.
Yeah, good stuff coming out on the angle with that AWP in hand. What will it be able to find when they want to go for this A push? Seems like they are going to be ready in terms of their utility if they want to go for it. But right now, just slow stuff on display. They do have a late round lurk as well that is going to be some pop out of door if he needs to, and cause a little bit of havoc. Robin, once again, repeating history, trying to take that short control. Exus is ready for it though, has the angle. By Toxic, just looking straight down short. And the mid push comes out towards the. It's all going to be kicking off very shortly. The Mexican standoff as they throw their flashes towards that A main, forcing him to reposition to give Robin the opener. But unfortunately, Camille was watching the angle. Instead, gets the flick onto Som. TK on the board already. Wants to try and go in for the hat trick. Repositions. So many orbs. All these scopes coming into play right now. Cyril finds his way through, but no scopes coming into play. It's a Madman's game right now. Switches out to a different weapon. The AK-47 gets 1, gets 2 as he switches over onto Nex as well and brings it back into a 1 versus 1. Reeks walking his way up. 6 wants to try and find the frag, but unfortunately he won't be able to do it just yet. That bomb will get planted off the back of Cyril. Can Reeks achieve this? Has that all-important kit. Just waits for the big to come out. Cyril tries to take the initiative, going on the aggressive play and lands the headshot. Finally, Rasta snapped back into the fold.
Incredible set of events that just unfolded there on the A-bomb site. We have a no-scope battle coming out there from the 2 players. That was Camille and Cyril, I believe, at the MBK position. But then Cyril managed to pick up that AK, was ultimately what won in the round. I feel like if he had an AWP in hand there, he really would have struggled to win that 1v2 situation, particularly in that rifle battle during the ultimate 1v1 that we saw. But we're still going to see a double up setup here on the Polish team. Still very much buying into that weaponry, really believing that is what's been winning them the rounds.
Oh, unfortunately for Camille though, he pops out and Cyril was lying in wait, primed and ready to strike him down with a thunderous AWP shot. And he brings it already into an advantageous position for Rasta, and this is great. They really want to try and pick up those last 2 remaining rounds of the half. If they can get themselves a 6-9 scoreline, there's definitely a lot of potential for them to begin to bounce back and work their way through on their CT half. But they need to start doing damage.
Looks like Rasta.Infused is going to make the way out into mid here. Into the fence. It should be a mid to B split. You see here, that's what the smokes do suggest. Thanks for the CWP, could potentially make a pick. Does miss the AWP shot, unfortunately. Will that leave the Rasta.Infused side potentially going for an A main? But instead, oh, what a shot there from Neeks. The smoke blooms, but will not matter. We'll still make that shot onto Som. It will be an A split here coming out from the T side. And mid control really allowing them to potentially cut off any rotations before they can make their way back into the ABM site. We've already mentioned the CT side have been playing quite heavily towards our B-bomb side. Neeks will find a second though. Miles will also find one. Neeks with a third. Reeks with the trade onto Robin. Will allow the retake to really come in before any post-plant situation was able to be established there for the Terry side.
Yeah, that defuse is going to come in there as well, and they've won that fantastically. Robin, unfortunately, couldn't quite land those shots towards short, was caught off guard. That's 10 rounds secured for Pride. Final round of the half coming up. Rasta, they want to try and pick this up. Utility and our Arsenal is going to be very, very limited. Of course, winning the previous round, then losing the follow-up, everything being reset. They have nothing really to play with. Robin will be able to squeeze out an AK-47 with armor, but he's got so limited utility. Let's see what they're actually going to gamble to go for here.
It's worth noting that one of the 4 rounds that Rasta.Infused did pick up in this half was off the back of Robin using his AK, and the rest of the players just resorting to Tech 9s and these upgraded pistols. But this time around, that will not be the case. Next will dispatch of Robin as he does try to make his way up into that similar boost position that we did see from him. In that round, they did win. So similar to this one, and Morels will find a second onto Som. Not only will that give them mid presence, but it gives them a main presence. The Terrier side really not got much to work with in this round.
They will rattle off those one shots as well, but unfortunately for him, Cyril was ready for him. Next, will land that shot onto Mole, but it's just 2 men versus 4, outnumbered 2-1, and they're not looking too fantastic at all into this round. They should be picked off fairly easily, and Pride should actually take themselves a very dominant half to a 4 scoreline. There's Cyril going to fall. There's Cryptic left now, Tech 9 in hand. Tabadon will actually get the opener, but unfortunately that's all he's going to receive before he's eventually traded out by Malizi. 11 rounds on the board for Pride. What a very dominant CT half coming out from them there.
Yeah, Rasta.Infused really showcasing a dominant T-side on Cobble. Not so the case on Cash at all. Only 4 rounds being picked up by them, despite picking up that pistol. But has to be noted, they did actually win the pistol round. Got immediately dispatched up in the second, but then picked up the third. So you really felt like they could take an economic stranglehold in that game, much like they did in Cobblestone. That just wasn't the case. Polish side picking up some key gun rounds when they managed to force out the M4s. From there, managed to establish a double up, at one point a triple up setup that really shut down the Rasta.Infused team in their tracks.
Towards the B-bomb side, Malizi caught off guard by Cyril and co. And they have the information at the back of this as well. Going for that cryptic, something absolutely sick as he just claims the head of Excess as a prize. Reeks will be eager to trade it out. Robin so very low, but still trying to take the battle. Unfortunately, blown out the server off the back of that nade. Cyril arrives on the scene, tapping away with that USP in hand, trying to cause a little bit of havoc, but unfortunately for him, he won't be able to achieve anything. Reeks ripping his way through with that Glock. Some, meanwhile, towards A-Main, a snapshot there. Juicy little stuff as he lands that headshot over onto Camille, leaving just Reeks in a 1 versus 2. But he's just taking his time, tapping away with that USP. Will claim one head, but couldn't quite get the follow-up onto Mole. And they claim the most important pistol round so far.
Also to point out that Som did have a smoke in hand there to smoke off that CT trip position, but didn't even have time to deploy it. So Reeks found that Juicy one-tap and reply to Som's very own. Mole will complete the 1v1 retake there. Rasta.Infused will pick up their second pistol round of the map, and indeed they've picked up every pistol round in this series so far, Jackie. That's 4 now in a row. Pride still with an 11-5 lead. Rasta.Infused still have to mount some kind of comeback in this game. Definitely, you know, within the realms of possibility. 11-5 lead is not by any means insurmountable. And if they do pick up these anti-eco rounds, they will come much closer towards the win.
Spam coming out towards that B-bomb site with these Deagles, trying to find an opener. Heavy SMG investment coming out once again, onto the side. A little bit more advantageous though, an awful lot more range behind those weapons, but a slightly slower rate of fire. Robin will be able to claim the head of Excess, rips his way through him. With that, claims himself a bit of a cash injection and the opener into the round.
Yeah, only a single Kevlar on Reeks here. Desert Eagle on Camille rather, and Desert Eagle on Reeks. 2 P250s also to work with. Reeks will find the pick onto Cryptics on this A-bomb site. That might allow the passage for a potential bomb plant, but the bomb has been left behind. Despite that, Nix will find a kill with his Deagle. And another kill from Morales will leave the Rasta.Infused mix in quite a perilous situation here. 2v2 retake that's going to have to be on the cards here. The bomb hasn't still not been planted, of course. It left quite some distance away from the bomb site. That could be the undoing of the terrorist team here as the CTs do make their way towards the... made their way up short. That will be Mole, the M4. The UMP of Sun will make his way towards the CT truck.
Yeah, great stuff coming out there. Son will actually realise that multiple bolts comes into action, finds one, wants to try and land the second with his Deagle, just spam it away right now. Eventually lands the drive-by headshot onto Camille, and they take it back. A round that looks so very shaky, but they were able to see it through just at the very end.
Yeah, it really came down to the fact they left that bomb behind, really. Just behind A-main, I believe it was, and it took them a while before they actually went back and retrieved it. It was a 4v2 situation in favour of Pride. Ultimately, Sam and Mole able to pick up all 4 kills without reply. This means that Rasta.Infused will salvage that round, brings the round deficit to just 5. Pride will force up the AKs here, very, very little loot utility to work with. But what a shot from Camille in mid to Robin in Z, and that really has opened up things for this terrorist team. A second as well. Mid presence could definitely be there for the taking, should they so choose.
Yes, Camille just seems ready right now, just ripping his way through everyone that comes in front of him. Juicy headshot to open it, and then a cheeky little follow-up as well. We'll try and go back in for the third. Actually nearly lands that as well. He's just causing a massive amount of damage. Really creating havoc towards mid right now. Left standing though on that CT side. They're going to have to deal with an abundance of T's about to burst their way out into that A-bomb site. Cryptics has the angle prepared, ready to mow them down, but will he be able to achieve it? Monk goes out to zone up a little bit longer, actually a bit of a tag off as well.
Yeah, and just the nature of which the CTs have been left here. You have to be allowed to rotate players towards this A-bomb site without having too much information to work on. They will be right in guessing that there are quite a few T's towards this A-bomb site, but the bomb should work its way through vents here, I believe. They have correctly identified that these counter-terrorists have over-rotated to try and overcompensate for the fact they do have a 2-man disadvantage. And that will leave the B-bomb site ultimately wide open here for the taking. Upon being planted here, you can only imagine that the CTs are just going to elect to save here. There's not really much, not much right into this round, only a single flashbang on Cryptics. Spoke of in terms of utility nades. They do have diffuse kits, but just it would be such a tough retake, Jackie. It just doesn't really seem worth it, especially when your economy has still not been built up to the point where it might be worth going for it. It might be viable, but in this case, just going to keep hold of that AWP on Surreal. It will be another round in the hands of the Poles. It will extend their lead to 12-6.
Yeah, good stuff. Display right now from Rasta. Pride were able to just annihilate their way through into this round, and if they can catch them off guard and actually force them to go for the full rebuy, already 2 rebuys are going to be actually coming out, one to Robin, one to Mole. It's not going to be too great for them. It's starting to slip away. It's will be the 12th round. Just a little bit of money to play and actually get that buy coming out. We need to keep it up. Things were starting to look better. They were starting to look quite healthy, but it just seemed so shaky into that round, slipping away from them now. The cash not too fantastic, but the buys will be coming in, just trying to force up buy around the weapons they did save from the prior round.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth working off those 3 guns that you've saved. It would seem quite odd if 2 of your players would just resort to, Kevlarless, upgraded pistols or whatever. You might as well just buy up into the round and see what you can do, because the majority of your players still do have quite powerful weaponry in their hands. Indeed, a lot more utility on the side of the Pride team here, and it might be at this point that we do start to see the smoke-based executes, the mollies to flush out players at quad, BK, these kind of things, and that's exactly what we're going to see.
Holding the angle as the flood comes in. Will he be able to achieve this? Get that spray down. He will claim one. On to the next. Repositions himself now. White truck. Trying to force as much as possible. It's not looking too far. Down one easy, but Cryptix rolls up on the scene and just annihilates everyone. 2 crisp headshots coming out. Wants to try and take the third. X is going to be there. Massive dink though, knocks down to his 33 HP, switches out to the block right now. I'll take that long range aim battle. Surreal names down with the AWP, eventually gets shredded out by Reeks. It's a 1 versus 3 to try and pick up round 13. He's not looking too healthy at all. Already has lost 20 HP, has a Molotov to play to try and force him out of position, but he has to recover the bomb and then find his way through. Rasta, the angles they have with the crossfire setup should be able to dispatch him. Even if he gets the opener, they should trade it fairly quickly.
He's actually shut the squeaky door, so they are aware of where he is right now. Cryptix will find his hat-trick frag of the round, I believe. And that will be the 7th on the board for Rasta.Infused. The convincing nature in which Pride took their 12th round will mean that they can once again buy up into this one. It has been noted that it won't have the same kind of utility that they did in that A-bomb site execute there in the previous round. But as we saw, individual prowess can pull this team through as well. We saw Camille with a huge triple in that round that they did pick up. To see what Rasta.Infused have got in the bag on the CT side this time around. Looks like they've mixed it up a little bit here. Surreal's pushed his way into mid-garage here.
Going on the aggression. Will it pay off for him? Will he be able to deal some damage? Will force back, delivered by Garbage. Camille wants to try and get that juicy headshot a couple of times to be able to achieve it. Access towards mid, trying to provide that ground support as well. Camille does have the high ground, elevated up right now, the eye in the sky. Just has to wrap a few pot shots down, but will he check that angle? Robin goes for the pot shot off, but won't quite land it.
He's got very cagey around, not too much happening so far, but he's going to leap like a gazelle. Will be dispatched up by Surreal from that low boost position, as you mentioned he was playing. And actually 3 kills in favour of Rasta.Infused has left him in a 4v2 situation here. Juicy wants to find a second onto Surreal in mid. But it will be Morelzi in a 1v2 situation. Does have the bomb in hand, but not too much HP to work with. And there is still a player playing at the quad position.
Yeah, an awful lot of utility on that side as well. But Mole, so very low right now. 5 HP left standing. He gets into that battle with Cryptix, but unfortunately for him, he will have not met his fate. Actually, torn to shreds there. That's fantastic stuff coming out. Best bit is they have been able to reset the economy. They're going to be looking healthy into the following round, and they've got nothing to play with for Pride.
Yeah, just a real lack of a bomb plant there really means that Pride team will not be able to force out those rifles as much as they had done so in that previous round, despite losing the gun round prior to that one. And ultimately, it will be the Tech 9s in hand. As he said on Camille, other than that, not too much to work with, not too much of a range capability here. So it looks like it's going to be a pop flash and burst out onto this A-bomb site, largely from this door area. Let's see what they can achieve.
Flogging their way out, Cryptix has got massive missile on the bar, but he'll be able to do it again. Fortunately not. Or as he fights through the blindness and lands that headshot, Surreal arrives on the scene. Down to get the trade. Robin, repositioned right now, run around Forklift, begins to get the spray down, lands a massive tackle. Never quite to a frag just yet. Will eventually find the wall bank over onto Reeks. It's more than left standing. He's trying to take the initiative there, floods his way through that smoke, but unfortunately didn't find it. Has got that scouting dead for. He needs to stand back and forth, taking the aim battles before Som eventually takes him down. That's the 9th round picked up by Rasta.
Quite worried there for the Rasta.Infused team. They were just seemingly willing to take the 1v1 gunfights against that man at quad there in that 1v1 situation. They had so much utility in their hands, they could have just pushed him out with a Molotov. But ultimately, they only lost one weapon, that was on Surreal. It looks like he might be picking up the AWP, indeed he will, so not too much damage being done there. Looks like the one gun they did lose will be traded up for an AWP in any case. And once again, it's pretty important to get another eco. You mentioned there is reset economy. is really starting to hurt their chances in this game here as Rasta.Infused inch closer and closer to bringing this comeback about.
It's looking fantastic right now. Slowly starting to get that momentum back behind them. And they get an easy opener to gain them order. Coming out from Cryptics, he just takes one and the follow-up. Left, right. Towards mid though, Cyril will be able to utilise that AWP. Shut it down for Mill. Spraying away with a nice little spray transfer with a headshot to take down Exus. And that is absolutely massive. Great stuff coming out right now. That's the end of the easy round. Back into the action. We will see the buys coming out for Pride.
It's worth noting that once again they failed to get the bomb plant there. And that will mean that despite being able to buy into this and despite a significant losing burn that's starting to build up for the terrorists, that brought down to virtually naught on a couple of their players here. And a loss in this round could be quite calamitous for their chances, not only for the economic devastation, but also maybe possibly due to the confidence. Like, it seems like the Rasta.Infused team are really starting to pick it up, starting to hit their shots much like this bubble.
Go out to a bomb site. Stampede of men, but they're all just getting annihilated. One of them sent off to the burn wall, the rest of them just getting picked off by Som and Cryptics. Robin will land that spray onto Nex as well. Extreme Conference panicking, doesn't know really what quite is going on. Will be able to recover the bomb and wants to try and get that one in. Finds the opener with a headshot onto Cyril, brings it back into a 1 versus 2. Robin and Mole. They're massive for their sides, but unfortunately they're getting torn to shreds. Robin will be taken down. Mole has a great angle though, has the drop on him if he wants to try and go for this. Just listening for the audio cue of him going for the commit. Reese panicking, not really quite sure where he is. We'll try and rotate off towards that A-bomb site. Mole goes for the peak, spires on those shots, but unfortunately couldn't quite land it. Reese is going to get the spray down, and Pride mounts their way back into the fold.
Yeah, Mole peeking at the optimal timing there, but unfortunately not able to hit that M4 spray. Reese will turn, face him, and win the 1v3 ultimately. And what a crucial round for Pride to pick up there. It was really looking like the momentum was starting to shift in favour of Rasta.Infused. It looked like they were on the verge of bringing in just the round deficit to just 1. As a result of that, moving back up to 3. Pride only requiring 3 more to at least get a map on the board in this series. But ultimately, it should be noted that Infused has still managed to force out a very, very healthy buy here.
It's looking fairly great. But they really have to go back into their action now, go back to that 8 game. They were looking crisp, everyone was on their shots. Unfortunately, in that 1v1, not quite able to best it. You know, back towards mid, what he's been doing best, getting these openers and gaining that map control for his side. He's going to try that once again. Nice little pop flash to try and get the initiative. Quite going to allow him to go for the open up. Floods his way out with the backup of his teammates. Unfortunately, the frag will go the way of Rasta. So he'll find the spray down before Robin's traded that to bring it back into an equal situation. This is looking quite healthy right now for the teams.
The pop flash there from the A site will allow Surreal to peek, but will be dispatched up by Neeks. Tix will find the reply though. He's in a 3-on-3 situation. It's going to be a real bar brawl for this mid control. So the counter terrorists are coming out on top though. Saying that, Reese will ultimately find a trade, but all there. Another man pushes up short to the white box. Will trade a kill, and he leaves this in a 2v1 situation in favour of the Rasta.Infused lineup. And this round would be absolutely crucial, not only if they can deny that, particularly if they can deny the bomb plant, because the losing bonus has been reset from that Reese 1v3. Of course, it should be noted, he was the man to pick up the 1v3, so we know his clutch potential just from the previous round. Only one less opponent to deal with in this situation. An open B bomb site might allow him to do just that. We'll have to see what he can do.
Go for that deep one right now. Actually repositions up to go for the plant behind the big box. Some arrives on the scene with the backup of his team. Utility Mole with that. Yeah, some with one as well. So they have the Molotov and 2 flashbangs. They should have a bit of an extra advantage into the ground. Force him out of position. There it is, the frag coming in. Some sprays him down. The defuse will come out, and they immediately snap back into the fold. Pride, they're going to have no money to play with into the following round as well.
Unfortunately for them, they did manage to get the bomb plant down, so maybe only will be the 1 eco on their side potentially. Even could go for the force buy. There's enough money on their side to do just that, and it will be the Kevlar armor play. The Kevlar pistol play rather. But should still leave them with enough money, particularly if they get a bomb plant in this round, to go for a buy in the next round. Definitely avoided a double eco situation, I feel like, there by getting that bomb plant down. Ultimately, this should be the 12th on the board for Rasta.Infused as long as things go fine.
Camille with a tag and then the follow-up shot onto Som to actually get the open. Not down to 40 HP, and Cryptics will equalise the situation, bringing the battle of attrition to even standards as he sprays his way through more easy. Reese has the bomb and he will reposition. They want to try and go for that gamble play towards the B bomb site. Camille there, hungry for more. More taps away, but unfortunately for him, Surreal arrives on the scene and sprays him down.
Yeah, 3v4 situation. Terrorists and not really too much control into this B bomb site. Mole and Surreal will chime in with more apiece. These Neeks and the 1v4 with only a PC-50 in hand, no Kevlar to speak of, and Mole will dispatch of him. One gun being dropped there on the Rasta.Infused side. It's quite good for their economy. It's, you know, it leaves it in quite a healthy situation going into some of the last rounds in this in normal time almost. This is going right down to the wire. We could see overtime, what we know, but it's quite important for the CT economy that they are allowed to buy guns in the case of losing a gun round or two here. Pride, interestingly, still on the pistols. I would have actually expected them to be able to afford AKs in this round, but I guess the lack of a bomb plant really hurt them.
Going for that gamble right now as they find their way towards the B bomb site. Som's there on the scene, wants to try and slam them down. We'll get the open up and the follow-up. Nice stuff from Som right now. He's bouncing around. Unfortunately for Robinson, he bursts his way out of it. Will be dispatched. Surreal finds the frag onto Reeks, but he's forced out of position. 2 HP left on him. Not looking too fantastic, but the nade comes in, blow him easy out. And now it's just Camille in a 1 versus 3. It's happened before for that Pride side. But will Camille be able to go absolutely massive? He's going to need a 4K to pick this one up. Is aware of the angle of Cryptix. Tries to get the drop on him. The spam comes in after Cryptix gets the information. Right now, no one is going to be going for those peaks. They allow him to recover the bomb. He's got a minute left on the clock to try and work out what he wants to do before he actually commits to the bomb plant. Now Molotov forcing him out of position, but he knows Cryptix is up there. Just wants to try and tiptoe his way out of the bomb site and slip out. Still hoping Cryptix is going to go for that face. Does have to drop on him from this angle, but will eventually opt to just back off. Paranoid though of the potential lurk coming out.
Yeah, has absolutely no idea where the remaining CTs are playing from. Does know that Cryptix was in that upper corner, as you've already mentioned. He's going to make his way slowly towards mid here. Is he going to go all the way towards the A bomb site, or is he going to try and find a pick in mid? It looks like he's going to do the former. Or is he going to go towards vents and maybe try and play the bluffing game on the CTs here? And they're all actually going to rotate. That's actually a really key play. Are they going to leave one man? It's really hard to say.
It's seeming like they have sort of gone for the gamble here and vastly over-rotated. Interesting stuff with 3 men left alive. Why they haven't just gone for the gamble, left 1 man behind and just try and work it out, just spread themselves thin to his site. But it's interesting. They will hear that audio cue, the nade going off, though. Reposition now. And with a 3 versus 1 retake, they should be fairly effective. Still having a lot of utility left to play with as well. They spot Camille out, spray him down, and they equalise the situation at a 13-13 scoreline.
Yeah, really interesting as you mentioned that they didn't leave 1 man behind. All 3 of them kind of going towards a Z position, all kind of electing to go for that rotate and be the man to go and sit on the other bomb side just in case he'd make his way all the way around the map. Kind of seemed like a little lack of communication on Rasta.Infused lineup, but ultimately they will pick up the 3v1 regardless. What's a bomb plant though on a Polish team that maybe they didn't really have any rights to obtain? And as a result of that, they will be able to pick up an AWP on Neeks. Complete full utility. This is an absolutely crucial round for the fate of this map, and the fate of this tournament. So Infused only require 1 more, of course, to close out the best of 5.
Yeah, that's true. If they're able to pick this up, they will claim the series with a victory. It would be fantastic for them. Let's see if they can. Elevated position somehow. Crumples there with a shot. Muffs it completely, but lands the follow-up. The wallbang coming out of the Surreal. The random shot. Somehow he's been able to get away with that. Absolutely insane stuff. And X finds one as well as Robin goes for the mid play. This is looking to be a very juicy round now. 3 men left standing on that Rasta side.
What a shot from Neeks. Just knew that there must have been at least 2 men there, and he would have a good chance of hitting at least 1. Finds a headshot. One just dispatch of Surreal there. And it looks like the attempt of Som to try and regain some kind of balance for the CTs in this round has really not paid off at all. Will also be traded. These Cryptix in a 1v4 situation, I think it'd be quite wise just to keep hold of what he's got, the M4, full utility, and the defuse kit.
Yeah, we'll just hang on to those weapons. No reason to throw in. Just run in and throw them away aimlessly. Should just try and get into that elevated position. Nice little boost there, so if they do walk through and check the angle, could get the drop onto someone. But that was crazy towards mid there. Just insane stuff coming out right now into that round. And that could potentially be the key factor with Bright being able to pick this up. Rasta, of course, should have money to get the buyout into the following round, but it's still going to be looking quite shaky. Pride potentially finding their footing once again. If they can have that confidence behind them now to try and sail through and take those following rounds, of course, they are going to need 1 more round to take it into match point.
This game's really coming down to a knife's edge now. Individual mistakes could potentially cost teams, massively here, because both teams coming up to the point where they only require 3 rounds to indeed close things out. It will be Pride that move 1 closer here, only requiring 2. Of course, Rasta.Infused only require 3 themselves. But in any case, their economy's not looking too great on some of their players. This is do or die almost here. Their economy, they're buying down to 0 on quite a few players here. And it really feels like they need to win this round if they're going to have a chance of closing this out 3-0.
They have to go big, and the only redeeming factor is really the fact that Surreal has that AWP behind him, and we've seen how critical he can be for the side. He really is sort of a redeeming factor to go massive and allow them to have those more organic openers. Robin towards mid right now, switching it up a little bit in terms of his positional play, could be a difference maker as well.
Yeah, that AWP on Surreal is really not something we've seen too often on the CT side for Rasta.Infused, as we said, but he will be dispatched of by Neeks. He'll win that AWP battle and a second onto Robin in mid. Absolutely massive stuff coming out from that AWP once again. We saw the great shot from him in the previous round, but two more bog standard shots this time around, but even more impact, it could be argued. This Polish team find themselves in a two-man advantage once again. And with the CTs already having deployed most of their utility, retake potential in the event of the terrorists getting down the bomb plant really might not be there. It might be wise just to save the weapons if they are to execute onto this bomb site successfully.
Yeah. So he's done a fantastic job of actually defending it previously. The off allows him to get one. Wants to go back in for more, but couldn't quite get the follow-up frag onto Reeks there. They have secured the bomb. And so Easy will get it planted towards default. Even then, it's going to be such a hard task, so they are actually going to opt to just back off and try and play for the overtime.
Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? 2v4 situation. You've got plenty of utility in hand, sure, but you just really don't have the manpower. You don't really have the avenue into the B bomb site. It's a much harder bomb site to retake than the A bomb site. A lot more angles to check. And the potential players playing from Toxic, the potential for the bomb to be planted for Toxic really adds another facet to that retake. As a result, it will just be a save coming out from the Rasta.Infused lineup, but that will leave Pride in a 15-13 situation. Two map points here. I want to bring bring themselves onto the board in terms of the overall series.
Great stuff coming out right now. Pride. Shut down more easy. Actually gets the follow-up frag as well to reach there, saving Cryptix's life. And that is looking quite good right now. They have been able to do a little bit of a dent to the economy of Pride, but it's not going to be anything to really write home about. The buy is not looking too fantastic over on Rasta as well, but it was critical that they could hold on to those weapons, and it really is going to be the big factor in this round. Of course, still needing two to bring it back to equalise the score and take it into overtime.
It's absolutely crucial they kept those two rivals alive. In fact, if they didn't, they would, for one, not have any AWP presence. For second, would really have a detrimental situation in terms of the range capability of their weaponry, because just, thanks to the fact that they'd have FAMASs, they'd have upgraded pistols only to work with. Once again, we're going to see the Polish team trying to exert a presence onto mid here to see how successful it will be. Neeks has been absolutely monumental in this, time and time again for his team. To see if he can once again find the opening pick and open things up for the terrorist side here.
Yeah, let's see if he can. Molt actually is going to be able to take the initiative with that frag onto Reeks. This is looking fairly healthy. A definite massive opening they did need into this side. Out towards the A-bomb site as well. The flashes are going to go in to try and zone them out. Allows Robin to actually go for this aggressive pick. Spots the head and actually lands the frag onto more easy. Even just Exus and Camille. Not fantastic situations. They will be able to recover the bomb and reposition, but they're spread so very thin. And it's just not looking too fantastic. 40 seconds left on the clock. He's pushed towards the bombs like the tank will come out onto Camille, gives away his position as he rattles off those shots with that AK-47. Tries to get the drop onto Som. But it's not looking like Som is going to be getting to keep on hold it. Gets tagged as well. Absolutely reeled down by the spam. Burst comes out from Surreal. Cryptix will land the headshot on the final blow. 14 rounds secured. They only need one more to take it into overtime. And the buy isn't going to be too glorious on that Pride side. Limited cash and very limited utility.
Not only was it absolutely crucial for Rasta.Infused that they denied that bomb plant and so restricted the buy of Pride going into this final round, thus giving them, the largest amount of chance of winning this final round and forcing overtime, but also keeping those weapons alive and not having to rebuy weapons. It's absolutely crucial because that means that they can buy all the utility that they want, or just miss that opening frag into the A main area. And it looks like it's going to be a very quick A play.
Yeah, they burst their way out onto the side. That one's going to go down. Robin goes into the 2K, but a flurry of kills come out as Camille and Waleezy just annihilate everyone in their path. The bomb will eventually be planted as well, and this is looking like there's potential for this to actually be the round picked up by Pride. Surreal arrives on the scene. The smoke will go out to try and zone out anyone that is playing over by main, but no one is going to be there. Everyone is tucked in towards quad. He'll slip back in, finds his way actually in the door, and Waleezy strikes from mid. We'll be able to land that shot onto Som. Even just Surreal in a 1 versus 2, couldn't quite achieve it. The frag's going to come in, and that is massive play from Pride there to pick up that second round.
It will be a 16-14 win there for Pride. They'll bring it back to a 2-1 deficit in the series, ultimately giving themselves a chance. And that was absolutely imperative that they did so, because I feel like if that had gone all the way to overtime, that the momentum would definitely have been in favour of the Rasta.Infused team. And you really wouldn't have, you wouldn't have doubted them in their ability to close out at 3-0. But ultimately, once the Poles came out on top on cash, we will be seeing what would be a third map that we've seen in this, but in terms of the actual overall scope of things, it will be technically kind of a fourth map in this weighted best of 5.
Yeah, That's very true indeed. We are going to be moving on to that next map very shortly, and that should be interesting stuff as well. I mean, really down to the wire there on Cash. We expected Refuse to potentially be the winners in that one. They've definitely looked sort of strong on it in the past, especially with their result against FM in the lower bracket finals. That was great stuff that actually came out, but it just was, you know, really down to the wire. It just sort of seemed like towards the end there, they started to get that momentum back behind them, were able to cause a little bit of havoc and get a bit of leeway, but just ran out of breathing room, didn't really have enough steam in the engine to find their way through into that final round.
It's certainly fair to say that the Polish team did come up to quite an explosive start on that map. Rasta.Infused really starting to bring things back towards the end. Polish team really struggling to go over. The Polish team really struggling to go over the finish line. Sorry, I was struggling to get my words out there. But we do have some highlights ready from that previous map. See what the some highlight plays here from some of the players. And obviously this was a huge 3K deagle from Excess.
This was absolutely massive, just annihilating his way through everyone with those juicy little 1-beats coming out. It was such a critical round. Good stuff as well from Reese here, playing from Men's perfectly. He was able to get a 2K on the ball with that spray down. It's just fantastic. I mean, it really was sort of early on the pride show. They went massive on the actual CT side defence. It just looked fantastic.
Yeah, this really was a pride show on their CT side, and certainly got to quite an explosively large lead. As we said, we're up at 9-3 at this point. Hughes did manage to bring a couple of rounds back towards the end of the half. This nade onto the OWP of Morels was absolutely critical, but then the AWP double from Camille was absolutely massive this round. Give them some leeway back into this round, and then ultimately Surreal, the clutch up, he does manage to retrieve this AK. Finds a kill onto Camille, and not only that, finds the follow-up double to the main CT players.
It was really just fantastic stuff coming out across the board. So much individual skill on display from either of these two sides into the second map. It just looked absolutely glorious. This one lies in for 0.5. It's just really, you know, as we said, we were in this way. Hopefully you get some warp shot. The old warbang that come out a little bit later on into that following round towards mid, because that was just fantastic stuff as well.
Just saw that one tap from Camille, that was absolutely huge. That was one of the best shots I've seen all tournament, to be honest. That's not one tap onto Robin and Steve, it's just ridiculous, to be honest. There's a spray down here from Cryptix, great little double headshot with that M4. Gave Rasta.Infused a bit of an avenue back into this game, has to be said. It was a 16-14 rather, final score, and obviously they were 12-6 down at one point, so they're starting to bring things back towards the end, but ultimately the Polish team did close things out. So we should be seeing plenty of highlights from the Infused team here, but then ultimately the Polish team closing this out.
It was good stuff coming out, but really it was quite down to the wire. There's not too much you can say about it. I mean, just fantastic stuff that was on display. Noisy, 1v4 here, tried to cause a little bit of havoc, didn't actually get the loot, you know, onto Robin, tried to keep it rolling, but unfortunately for him, Son there, just landed that shot, was just massive. Clearly excited by his side actually doing damage.
Yeah, really starting to make this comeback by this point. See when Rasta.Infused picked up their 10th. Robin with a great spray transfer. Has to be said, that was one of the highlight moments as well of the game. Just really great rifle control on display. This was when Infused should have brought it back to within one. And some crucial mistakes being made, and also some great individual skill on display from Reeds. Really allowed him to pull off this 1v3 situation. A great headshot onto the man at CT Truck, and a second to the man at Forklift. And then plays ring around the Rosie with Mole. Mole tries to find the optimal time to peek out here. It was Reeds that ultimately spanning him around the CT Truck area and found and completed the 1 versus 3 clutch.
That was good stuff coming out. Of course, Mole went in for that front, but couldn't quite do it. They were able to take it down. That was a really massive round in the grand scheme of things.
It really was, because at that point the momentum really was swinging in favour of Rasta.Infused. It would have brought it to within one if they were able to close out that 3v1 situation. This was a really interesting one. This final round of the game where Mole was really playing a close default aim. That AWP really came to their undoing ultimately. Was third map of the
third map overall, if you include the was by if you won that advantage.
second map that we've seen so far in this final, of course, and it did go in favour of the Polish team, bring it back to a 2-1 scoreline. Still, of course, in favour of the British mixed team, Rasta.Infused. I believe we do have a 30-second trailer to show you guys. I'm not sure if the production have got that quite lined up yet. If they do, yeah. Alright, so that's going to be us going to a quick break. We've got a bit of a trailer to show you guys, so please stay tuned for the next map.